In this video, we're going to look at politics and public policy. There are generally two ways of approaching public policy problems. You could get the government to do something, or you could leave it up to the markets. We can usually find a spot on that spectrum for different public policy solutions. But of course, there's an unlimited number of problems. And so the real political decision isn't always how to solve a problem. It's which problems should be solved. And the different political parties will have different ideas of what problems should be prioritized. A good way to understand that is to look at what the parties do when they have a trifecta. Now, what is a trifecta? Well, a trifecta is at the state level when they have control of both legislative chambers, so the House of Representatives and the State Senate, in addition to the governor. So it's kind of like having unified government, but at the state level. When the Democrats have control of states, this graphic from 538 shows what they have typically done. So ban on gay conversion therapy, minimum wage policies, free college, election-related things, legalization of marijuana. So those are some of the things that they typically do when they have unified control in a state. Generally across the board and into 2022, Democrats have tended to favor wage-related policies like minimum wage or trying to get benefits for gig workers like Uber drivers and food delivery app workers, and voting access, trying to expand the franchise, making it easier to vote either by mail or re-enfranchising people that have been to jail and trying to restore their right to vote. So that's generally where the Democrats have focused their energy when they've had unified control. Now, they do have unified control of the federal government. And what is it they've been trying to do? Well, they've done a lot of, they had the American Rescue Plan, which is a big plan to kickstart the economy and provide COVID relief. But one of the signature plans, called the Build Back Better plan, hasn't really gone anywhere. This was an ambitious social spending plan to try and not only build on infrastructure, but also provide things like childcare and supports for workers and things like that. So it very much fits within what Democrats try to do. However, at the federal level, they do not have enough votes in the Senate to overcome that 60-vote threshold. What about Republicans? What is it that they are doing when they have control? In the graphic by 538, we can see ban on sanctuary cities, which was from a few years ago, Medicaid work requirements, concealed weapon without a permit, anti-boycotting Israel bills, and right to work, which is related to unionization. It tries to sort of give workers an opt-out for closed shop union laws. Now, today, in 2022, we could probably find two common themes in states where Republicans have unified control. Laws related to election integrity, which is loosely described to mean a lot of different things, securing election, new election officials, things like cameras watching vote counts, and more restrictions around what can be done at polling places and in the voter registration process, things like voter ID laws. There's also a lot of policies at the state level related to curriculum at the high school and public school level, but also at universities. They want more say, or at least they're trying to restrict what topics can be taught and what can't. Perhaps the best example would be the Ron DeSantis in Florida and their Don't Say Gay bill. That's at least what the bill's been nicknamed by its critics, that tries to restrict sex education in early years education. And that tends to be where they have focused their energy in 2022. So what parties do when they actually have control of all three parts of a government, even at the state level, can tell you a lot about what they're trying to do, because election campaigns don't always do that. Parties will say things at election time that they don't really have an intention of doing. It's really just to motivate the voters. So a lot of things that are promised or a lot of slogans used in election campaigns are never really going to see the light of day. They are just designed to get your voters excited and get them out to vote for you. If you really want to know what a party stands for, you have to look at what they do when they actually have control or they have input on the policy-making process. And one good way to get a glimpse at that is through the state legislatures when they have a trifecta, unified control of the governorship, the Senate, and the House.